So we got another Canadian team, Vancouver and Nashville. I'm going Canucks. I'm gonna say that's gonna be another six.
I'm going, like I said, 7 games. Going to go the end. I could put a coin flip to it, to my opinion.
Right.
Well, then flip your coin, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's a coin toss as well. I'll go without the coin and I'll take Vancouver in 7.
Me
I'll
too.
I'll I'll take the other side of that. I'll take Nashville in 7.
Oh, you're picking on the road in Game 7, huh?
Yep.
Not always easy. I got Vancouver at home in Game 7. I think they're going to beat them. I really
Um, yeah, I think everything's breaking right for the Rangers, and they're going to talk about Rangers. Vancouver going to get his 94. Vancouver's not going to the Cup Finals. They can win a 7th game at home, though. I mean, I'm tempted to take Nashville to go to the conference finals. I saw them enough down the stretch to know that a number of teams could beat them. I know they're very gritty and very dangerous. They're going to give their all to the end, and I think they're going to have a great season at the end. I think they're going to fall a little short this year, and I could go either way.
All right, so moving on.
Yeah.
Well, Tony,
Yeah, flip the coin.
Did you make a pick?
No, I'm going with Vancouver in 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
so
Vancouver in 7.
no consensus. Yeah, I'm wondering if we're gonna even have one in any of these picks. So Edmonton and LA. This is my first 7-game series. Edmonton taking it.
I agree with you, Rob. I think they'll take it in 6, to be honest with you.
I got Edmonton in 6 as well.
Yeah, they're better than the Kings. Nothing against the Kings, but
yeah,
I just think the Oilers are going to beat them. Yes.
I'm going Oilers in 5.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good pick.
And by the way, we picked the first round in my pool. You get 5 extra points for every series you get correct in the amount of games. Like last year, I got the Carolina in 6 and Devils in 7, just for an example. I got extra points for getting those series right.
Okay, so we go over to the East.
I'll take Edmonton in 7. I didn't go, yeah.
Everyone get their picks in for Edmonton, LA.
Yeah.
I'll take Edmonton in 6.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
first
Bob.
consensus.
I said Oilers.
So we do have a consensus on one.
Does anyone have the Oilers going past the second round?
I got
Just
the
out of
Oilers
curiosity.
in the conference final.
Okay.
I think I put the Oilers in the conference final too, but I question that. I think they're very beatable.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have that team that plays in the Garden versus the Capitals. Unfortunately, I have to go with that team, and I think they're going to dominate the first series.
Yeah, me too.
I'll go 6.
Rangers in 5.
Rangers in 6 for me.
Yeah.
Rangers in 6. I think Washington's going to play physical with them. Probably take out a player or two.
Whoa. Okay.
I'm gonna go Rangers 5 as well. I think it happens quick.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
Tony?
I'll take the Rangers in 7.
Wow, Tony, I
7?
like your picks. I like the way Tony thinks. I really do.
So we are consensus again. Okay. Then we got Carolina and the Islanders. I hate to do it, but again, I just think Carolina is going to win. I don't trust teams that aren't good on the power play, and I'd love to see the Islanders make a run, but I just think Carolina is going to win.
In what, Rob?
I think the Islanders will fight to the bitter end and lose in 7.
You do?
Yep. I think, again, you said it yourself. They're tough. The Islanders are tough.
Oh, they're tough. So is Carolina, though. I called them a buzzsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got Carolina in 6, just like last year. I go to overtime and I'll just be heartbroken. Well, we weren't that heartbroken last year because we knew that Carolina was better. I think Ingvo and Palmieri, though, Horvat, are really ready to go. I'll say that about being an Islander fan. I think those guys are really, and Barzell, I hope, is ready to join them. I think those 3 guys are really ready to go. We'll see how everyone else does.
I agree with Kip. I'm going Carolina in 6 as well.
I got Carolina in 5.
I'm gonna be Debbie Downer here and go with Carolina in 4. Sorry, guys.
Wow.
Wow.
Going with the sweep.
Going with the sweep.
Well, that's
Tony?
funny you mentioned a sweep mystery because when I see the Florida and Tampa game,
What did Tony? What'd you pick?
did you pick
The
Tony?
Islanders.
I'm picking the Islanders in an upset.
No.
We do not have consensus, thankfully,
No.
because of Tony.
And I'll tell you why. Because the one thing about the Islanders are healthy right now. And the other thing is they're a very physical team. And I know they're a veteran team, and a veteran team, it takes the players longer to prepare for each game to get up because of the energy level that they don't have because they're not young. But I think last year they got knocked out when they were playing really well. And if they stay healthy through the series and play physical, I can see an upset here.
Wow.
All right, I'm very glad to hear that, Tony.
I'm sure you are, Rob.
So moving on. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the underdog sweep. I like teams that have won in the playoffs in recent times, and that's Tampa, and they're gonna sweep and end this Florida nonsense.
Oh yeah, you're out. Are you?
Yeah, no, I can't agree with that.
Yeah, that's insane. That's one honestly in probably last 20 years of picking hockey or so.
So,
That's
Kip, I'm
probably
kicking your
one
ass off the
crazy-
show right now. Goodbye. No, I'm kidding.
There's
So,
no
I made the
way
insane
Florida's
pick.
getting. There's no way Florida's
If
getting
this
swept.
happens, your ass is coming back on this show, and you're gonna reap.
You want to make if they sweep them, we can make a bigger bet than that. I mean, there is no way Tampa. They might win the series. That would be
I'll take that
an upset.
concession. You
That would be
think
a
it's
huge
possible
upset. That
Tampa could win?
Tampa winning the series is a big upset, in my opinion. They have the ability to do it. I don't think they will do it. I'm taking Florida in 5 games. Could go 6. Florida's a better team.
So be it.
Okay.
What do you guys got?
All right. You know what? I'm going with Tampa Bay in 6 because you can say Florida is a better team. That's right. But Boston was the best team last year and they didn't win. And in hockey, you just never know. It's not like other sports. You have a pretty good feel. And I think Tampa has been
Fair
pretty
enough.
consistent through the years. And I think Florida is a better team this year than they were last, but I still think they're a fluke.
They're not getting swept. Nobody's getting swept.
Oh, I didn't say that.
No, I know. I'm just talking to Rob here. Nobody's
Okay.
getting swept in this series.
Okay,
I can guarantee you
we'll see what
that.
happens. We'll see what
I
happens.
got Tampa Bay in 6. That's my pick.
I'll take Tampa Bay in 7. I think that they're going to beat each other up in this series. I think it's going to be close.
I mean, like I said at the top, I got to go with my hometown pick on this one, and
Yeah, that's fine.
this series is absolutely 100% going to be war, and whoever comes out of it is going to be real banged up. But I've got Tampa in 7.
Way to stick with them, Mr. E. I think you're going
Florida's
to
fluke run from last year ends.
Yeah, right.
What fluke? They're not. That's what I thought too. They're not a fluke, Rob.
No,
They're
Florida's
better than they
not
were
a
last
fluke.
year. Even
Florida
Hold on.
has good depth.
they have good goaltending.
They're a really physical team. They're deep.
Yeah, they have Verhaeghe and Reinhardt. Those are big time scorers in clutch situations.
Not only that, they've got depth scoring in Cousins. Like it's
Yeah,
just,
Cousins is really good. Yep.
It's to me, it's if there was a coin flip series, this is it. But I've got to go with my hometown team.
Tony.
Tony.
Yeah.
I don't know about Tampa. I think it's going to be a 7-game series, and I'm going with the Hurricanes.
I mean Florida.
Florida
Panthers.
Panthers.
I mix those two teams up too sometimes. Hurricanes, Panthers.
Sorry.
Miami University.
John, did you make a pick?
Yeah, I got Tampa in 7.
All right.
Now
Okay.
the big one.
Boston, Toronto. I'm going Boston in 5.
Really? No,
I like Boston, Bob.
I think Boston in 7.
In fact, I think this is going to be a Beantown blast in both hockey and basketball.
I like your thinking, Rob. You
See
know
what
what?
happens.
You know what? It would be ironic if they won this year because last year they were the best team and didn't. And again, in hockey, you never ever know. I'm going with Boston in 7. I just think that they're a little bit better than Toronto, but they have to score and stop. They're actually having some trouble on defense. They've given up more goals this year than they have.
Yeah, because Parker Witherspoon's your number 6 defenseman.
Right.
He should be your 7 or 8 defenseman.
Right. But I think they're good enough to get by Toronto. So I'm going Boston in 7.
I'll
Nice.
take Boston in 6.
Thanks, John.
I'm taking Boston in 7. I just don't think Toronto has the balls.
Yeah,
They're funny. You look at them and you think they're good, and then you look at them again and go, they're not that good. They've been like that all year, so I don't believe in them.
yeah.
And they've gone 7 with Toronto how many times? So I'm just going to go with the norm. They're going 7 again with them. Boston's going to be home. Boston won't choke at home, I guess, this year. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
They've done that a lot.
Yeah, they did it last year with 1 minute to go in the game in the third period with a goal lead. It sucked. Yeah.
Yeah, and then with against St. Louis,
Right. We
yeah.
lost game 7 at home, the championship, right? Mm-hmm. The cup. Okay, Mr. E, what'd you think?
I'm going Boston in 6.
I think that if Anthony says Boston, and I know he don't want to say it because we're brothers, by the way. This is the trainer for UCLA, and he worked in the
Oh,
NBA.
really?
Yes, absolutely. And he worked in the NBA for about 4 years, 4 or 5 years. And yeah, he probably won't say it because he don't want my teams ever to win. But I'm saying Boston is 7, and we're gonna find out right now. Tony, what do you got?
Painfully,
Oh, thank you.
I would have to say, Boston in 7. But the one thing I will say, watch out for game 7 because they've lost more bigger games at home this year than they did all of last year. Obviously, they didn't lose very many last year. They didn't lose very many at all anywhere.
Right.
But I've watched them at home this year, and they've dropped more big games to better teams at home. I mean, I could see them losing in game 7 at home, but I'm going with the Boston Bruins 7 at home.
Yeah, Boston was a big heartbreaker on a lot of parlays this year. I'll tell you that.
And I'm sure they were.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Did you make your pick, John?
The other thing that we've all been talking and picking, but one thing I'm really big on is, I'm big on coaching. Who's got the better coach in a big moment?
Yeah.
Who can make the best adjustments? And we really haven't touched on that much. We made our picks and picked our teams, but a lot of times a team that doesn't have as good a talent as the team they're playing, the guy can outcoach them.
The Rangers have a great coach. That's one thing they do have, who with a lot of experience in early success with his teams, which scares me here. He took the Islanders before they fired, Milbury fired him inexcusably. Mike Milbury says enough after 2 playoff appearances. And then he went to Carolina. He won his second year there. Went to Philly, took that in the middle of the year, took that team to the finals against one of the great teams of recent memory, the Blackhawks in 2010. Took them to the miracle run in the finals. They played well in the finals too. Took Nashville to the finals against Pittsburgh. They just lost to a better team. I think he did that in his first year in Nashville. So he's a great coach. Mm-hmm. He's won a cup. He's taken 3 different teams to the finals.
So because we don't have a consensus on the next round, I'm going to ask everyone to declare your conference final, your finals choices, and then your Stanley Cup final and your champion.
Don't we have one more series in the East real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. Sure, comment.
We did. Oh, we did all 4.
We did all 4. We did all 4.
All right.
Yeah, we knocked them out, but we don't have a consensus, so it'll just get cluttered if we try to dance around the next round.
Like I said, I got Florida going to the finals over Carolina.
Florida in the finals. So I got my final 4 is Dallas, Edmonton, Carolina, Boston, with Edmonton and Boston in the final, and Boston winning in 6. What do you guys got?
I've got Dallas, Edmonton, Carolina, and Tampa. Go figure. But I've got Tampa losing there, and my final is Carolina and Dallas, and I have Dallas as the eventual winner.
Who's your West again? You got Carolina. You got Dallas too.
Dallas, Edmonton.
Okay.
All right. How about you, Bob? What do you got?
Well, I like I like Dallas. I think they're going to end up coming out, and they're going to end up playing. I would say probably Vancouver in the conference final because they're not in the same bracket. Am I right? They're in the different brackets, so they were playing the conference final, and then
All right, the winner of LA Edmonton is going to play the winner of Nashville Vancouver.
Okay, right.
So
Exactly.
I mean, Edmonton doesn't have to play Dallas or
Exactly.
Vegas the first 2 rounds. That's very big for them, in my opinion.
Right.
Absolutely. Oh,
Right.
yeah,
So
it is.
so I pretty much have Dallas playing Vancouver and then Dallas going. And
All
then
right, so you have Dallas winning it all.
I didn't say anything about the East yet.
Yeah, we're
I'm
not
just
done.
doing the West. In the
Okay,
West. In the West. Yes.
He's
Get ahead of
rushing you.
myself here.
In the East, oh boy. Carolina's gonna end up playing the Rangers. Ooh. That is so you talk about a coin flip. I mean the Rangers
Yeah.
are great and they got that game 7 at home. So I'm leaning Rangers over them, but barely. It is so close. And I think Tampa's gonna beat Florida and play Boston.
Yeah.
And I think Boston's gonna get them. I think they're gonna take them in 6 or 7, and then they're gonna end up playing the Rangers. And damn, I want to say Boston so bad, but I think the Rangers are probably gonna take them out. And then there's gonna be Rangers and Dallas. 1 point separates them. One had 114 points, 113 for Dallas. And
Spit it out, Bobby. Who do you got in the final four and the final winning?
all right. Well, I said that already. I'm gonna go with Dallas because I can't stand the Rangers. You know what?
Dallas, you have Dallas over the Rangers in the
Yeah,
final.
in a close one, and like in games.
So a real offensive, like
I'm big on
young
offense.
final.
Yes, I'm big on offense.
No, but Dallas is so deep with their young talent.
Yes,
I mean, more than anyone else in the NHL, maybe.
yes, and I'm gonna go with them in 6.
Okay.
Yes.
John, what do you got?
I think Boston's going to beat the Rangers in the semis. I'll believe in his team if Bob's not going to believe in his team, and I'll take Colorado over Vancouver, and then I'm going to take it's going to be a coin flip between for me Colorado and Boston. I'll take Boston since Bob's not going to take him.
Well,
Win
that's two
Stanley
that's taking
Cup.
them. That's 2 that's taking them. Hey, if I'm wrong, good. I want to win, especially after last year.
You're big on the Avalanche, John.
I think that their path is gonna because I really believe that they're gonna be Winnipeg, and I think Dallas and Vegas are gonna beat the crap out of each other, and I think Colorado is gonna kind of just skate right by them. Whoever
McCarr is the key. Mikhail McCarr might be the key to everything.
Yeah, and then I don't think Vancouver's got enough to take them. I think Colorado's in there kind of by default when I look at the bracket the way it's set up.
Well, they wouldn't play
played
Vancouver.
out
Dallas.
differently, I think they might not make it, but we'll see.
Why do you
Michelle,
guys-
Tony, final four and final. Who do you got?
In the West, I've got Dallas and Edmonton in the finals. And I got Dallas going to the Stanley Cup finals. And in the East, I've got the Panthers and the Rangers going to play game 7 and win in 7 the Stanley Cup over Dallas. I think the Rangers have a better coach and they have more experience, and you put a young group in there. Sometimes young players can't handle the pressure, and sometimes they don't know the pressure. And if they don't know what the pressure, they'll play better and they can win. If they do realize the pressure and it goes to 7, I can see the Rangers out coaching them and winning it.
Man, I don't think Tony read the room here.
No. You really think they're that good? I mean, they got to beat some good teams.
They are that good. I have them in the finals, and it's going to be close if they
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The Rangers. Yeah, I said it between them and Dallas. Yeah.
Really?
Here's the thing, though. Like the NHL playoffs are the hardest beast to predict, right? Because there's
They really
so many variables.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yes.
and so I think any one of these 16 teams can realistically win it, in the right scenario.
I couldn't agree more, Mr. Reed, because
That's a lot. That's a hard sell. 16.
really, no, these teams are really pretty evenly. I mean,
I
Oh,
mean-
I agree, but I don't think all 16 teams. I have about 5 or 6 teams, and which is a lot more than usually. I think Dallas, the Rangers, Carolina, Florida, and Vegas would be my 5 that can win the Stanley Cup. I don't have anyone else besides that.
It's generally more than any other sport produces for a playoff bracket, though, realistically. Even 5.
I got a question for Rob and John. Why do you think Boston's going to win it all?
Well, again, I think, like I
Trying to
said
be
in the
nice to
beginning,
you.
this was a team that
no.
seemed to be primed for destiny, that just vomited all over themselves. And I think they will have learned from that experience. They don't have anywhere near the pressure to succeed this time, and I think they're going to roll. I don't. Again, the spotlight's not on them, and I think with that in mind, that they'll take momentum, seize it, and they're going to keep winning. They just get out of that first round. They're one of those teams that they get out of the first round, they're gonna roll.
Why do you think it, John?
Yeah, they don't have that target on their back that they had last year as, the best team in the history of the sport, getting compared to all the greats and stuff like that. So, that's a lot of pressure off. And even though they don't have those, same veteran guys, I mean, their goaltending is 1 year deeper into their prime. I mean, their goaltending is, in my opinion, those two tandem, I mean, best in the league. And that wins games. Boston's always, a defensive team, and I think that wins games in the playoffs. I think they've got enough star players and offense to do the job everywhere else.
Well, and I will
think
add this.
Tampa's the most dangerous team. That's just my opinion. I don't know who you guys see as the most dangerous team, but Tampa is to me.
I'd like to circle back to the last topic for just a
The
second.
Florida Panthers. I mean, I like to give my final 4.
Yeah, go ahead, Kip. Oh, I didn't realize you didn't go yet. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, I think like a lot of people probably do. I think Carolina's going to beat both New York teams. Not going to be easy, but they're physical enough. They're going to beat them. Really hope the goaltending just stays put. That's really the biggest question for me against the Rangers. And then on the other side, I'm going to be the only one doing it. I've picked them all year. I just don't want to stop now. I probably shouldn't do it, but I'm going to take Vegas, like I said, upsetting Dallas.
Wow.
Going to the conference finals, playing Edmonton in the conference finals. And they're going to beat Edmonton. And then that's going to be tough. I could see Eichel winning the Conn Smythe. I think Florida's going to outlast them. I think Florida's going to win the Stanley Cup. I think Carl Verhaeghe is going to win the Conn Smythe.
Mr. E, you wanted to go back.
Now we know why you attacked my pick so hard. You got Florida winning it all. All right.
Well, so my thing here.
Carter Verhaeghe is going to win the Conn Smythe.
If we take a look at history, right? A lot of times the team who won the President's Trophy the previous season wins the Stanley Cup. And that's one argument for Boston.
Yeah.
I don't know that I see that as particularly impactful in this scenario, but it's one thing to consider because the history bears that out.
Right. Just don't win the cup because you ain't winning it this year. But next year you're good.
E, in a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say my prediction is? Like craziness, 1 to 10.
1 to 10, I'd put it at a solid 6.
Okay, not crazy, not that.
It's
crazy.
not like pure lunacy. It's plausible.
Right.
Well, guys, lots been said here. I think it's been great content. I really appreciate everyone coming on. Any closing thoughts from any of you before we wrap up?
Yeah, I'll say something.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I would say let's keep one thing in the back of our minds. In hockey, more than any sport, there are big upsets in the playoffs. A team that everyone says, "Oh, no way." I mean, I remember back when the Kings were 8th seed,
Last
beat a
year.
1 seed, and wind up winning the whole thing. I mean, you get a hot goalie like Quick was that year. I
Yeah.
mean, it can happen, and there are upsets, as we all know. But that, and along with coaching, which we touched on a little bit, you got to watch out for the upsets. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt. We did have a comment from someone on the live stream, and
Yeah.
Carson Bartholomew is very disappointed. None of us have any love for the Toronto Maple Leafs this playoffs.
They're too weak defensively. Let's just be honest. They're not. I mean, they're. People call the Rangers the Frugazis, but I mean, really, it started. I mean, the Jewels started in Toronto.
Right. Yeah.
I think
They might
everybody
both be.
All about offense. I mean,
Yeah.
look, I love offense, but you got to have some kind of D in a goal. You do. I mean,
Yeah, I think at the beginning of the year, everybody was really high on the Maple Leafs, that this was going to be their year, and it seems like every year is going to be their year, and then they just kind of fizzle out.
I guess our caller is a big Maple Leafs fan, Rob. Or
Yeah, Carson Bartholomew was definitely disappointed. None of us had the Leafs going anywhere, but
It's a
just the
hard
nature of the
first
beast.
round
Sorry,
for them.
guy.
it's a hard first round.
The Maple Leafs. I mean, even if they got past Boston, I mean, they have easily could say they have the toughest mountain to climb, just in who they're going to have to face. Because they're going to have to face the best out of that bottom, the bracket below them with the East there. And they're going to have to play against Florida or Tampa Bay, and both of them are great teams this year. So I don't see it.
I mean, if they beat Boston in the first round, I wouldn't cry.
That we know.
As
Mr.
long as
E,
Tampa gets
Mr.
that
E, what do
sweep,
you
I need that sweep, Mr. E. I need that
They're
sweep.
not
man.
getting it. It's not gonna.
I mean, no, there's no way a sweep happens there.
I don't
It's
think
just
more than
not
one
real.
sweep will happen in the first round. You usually don't see more than one sweep in the first round, if any.
You want my lunacy number on that one? That's a 9.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. E, what do you
So
think?
not a
of
full
Toronto?
10 at least.
Why don't you think Toronto's going to go for Mr. E?
I think Toronto, yeah, they're a year more mature than they were last year, but at the same time, like they just don't seem to have the tools to get over that hump. Their goaltending has been super questionable
Right.
this year,
Mhm.
just as a whole, right? It got to the point where they were playing their third string goalie over the past week or so. And yeah, some of that's resting guys, but the rest of it is that just Wall and Samsonov haven't been getting it done.
Right.
So that's the big hole I see with them.
Well, we'll see what happens, guys. So again,
one more closing thought. I just think this
close
was
the thought away. Go
I
ahead.
just think this was a phenomenal regular season that we just put an end to. We had two guys get 100 assists, which
Yes.
that hasn't happened in a very long time.
Mhm.
And we also had a 69 goal scorer, which was phenomenal. I'll throw some Leafs love on that one. Um, and that doesn't even mention the fact that 9 out of the 10 top scorers in this league this year had over 100 points.
Right. John actually pointed that out to me on the phone earlier when I talked with him today, that about the two guys with the assists. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty special. There's no doubt about it. It was a great year and it's going to be a great playoff because these teams are so well matched against each other. Anything can happen here. So it's going to be
NHL's
it's
great,
going to be fun
hockey
to
great.
watch.
Can we just get the white jerseys back at home, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It
all right,
looks
guys.
so much more real and crisp.
Yes. Yes.
Any Conn Smythe?
Conn Smythe predictions. Overtime here. Well, since I got Boston winning, I got Pasternak getting it.
Well, he'd be my pick if they do
Who
win.
else?
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
He'd
For
be
me,
my
it's Rope Hintz.
Oh, my guy.
guys. John?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I think
they're done.
Yeah, pasta's a good default answer. I'll throw a more out there one though, just for you know to be different here. We'll go Charlie Coyle.
Oh, I like that. That's good. How about you, Rob?
I already picked
Oh, I'm
Pasternak.
sorry. Tony?
Oh, I don't know. It's up in the air.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I
As
think
long as it's not a Ranger, Tony. As long
I
as
got Carter
we have a
Verhaeghe.
Ranger winning this.
Right.
Oh yeah, he picked the Rangers. I forgot.
You,
I got
you know
Carter
what?
Verhaeghe.
You know what kills me about Carter Verhaeghe is he was a Tampa draft pick.
And then
Oh, really?
No, wasn't he a Toronto draft pick and traded to the Islanders and then went to Tampa Bay?
Was that it? Maybe. That might be right.
Well,
Yeah.
Snow traded him for a Lithuanian goalie or something. And
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was a terrible trade for the Islanders. I remember scratching my head on that one now that you mention it. But yeah, Verhaeghe was
Toronto traded him first.
and Verhaeghe, won one of the cups with Tampa, but he was an extra piece on that team. He
Fourth
wasn't
liner.
even he wasn't even like considered good enough. And another fourth liner that Tampa lost, Jonathan Marchessault.
He's one of my favorites. He won the Conn Smythe last year. So for Hague, he's kind of a comp. I mean, they're similar in some ways.
Yeah, I can see that argument, and like it kills me that these guys with better roster management could still be with Tampa.
Yeah.
Right.
Guys, let's revisit and when we hit the conference finals.
I don't mind. That would be great.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Hopefully the
let's-
Rangers will be out, so I don't have to hear my chest beat. So hopefully they're out.
Let's not forget, it was great to see Pittsburgh Penguins honor Jaromir Jagr.
Oh yeah, one of the greats. He's top five.
Yes.
Yeah, one of the most unbelievable car rides I ever had in my life with him.
Wow, that's a great story.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to hear that story at the conference final show, Tony.
Okay. But
All right, guys. Signing off for the Sports Show with Bob Spino, with John, with Tony, Bob, Kip, and Mr. E. Have a good night, everybody.
Night.
All right.